Wild-Billiam here with you again. Let's call this Gold D9 Redux. The first time I did this, I wasn't able to get the drift pin out from the tailpiece on the lock. So I was able to get that out in the meantime. So let's go for another shot at this. I'm going to be using two of the Jimmy Long's double-ended Z-wrench style turners of 40 thousandths and 50 thousandths. That lets me kind of fill up the bottom of the keyway here, gives me a little more control. And I'm going to use a multi-pick Elite number 4, but the number 5 will work as well because we're going to work both sides. I had a little bit of a gutting disaster the second time I tried to film this and had to re-sort everything. Went back to the first video, and realized my pin stacks were not balanced anyway. So I rebalanced the pin stacks on the left and right. The lock picks a little differently now, so it's taken me a little bit of time to redo this. So we're going to start with the first one here on the right. Then we'll go to the first one on the left because it's pretty tight. I know for a fact that the middle one on the right is a zero lift, so we're not even going to touch that one. We'll go all the way over here and pop the last one on the right. We'll go over here to the second one on the left. Give it a click. I think we're good. So we're going to switch over to a standard hook to get the top 3 pins. One of the things that changed when I rebalanced the pin stacks is number 3 back here was originally a zero lift, but because the pin stacks were unbalanced, that's why the driver was too long. So when I rebalance, we do have a minimal click on the third one now. So grab that second one, lets the first one bind. See if we can get back here to this third one. It's a little tight. We got it. Let's go back through since we didn't open. I'm going to guess that we're missing a click somewhere in here. It's like I dropped or kind of popped out everything that I'd already gotten. Let's give these top ones one more try. Got that one in the middle. This one here in the front. Going for this third one back here. Like I said, it gets a little tight with those zero lifts in there. And we've messed it up again. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab the key and give this a quick turn to make sure everything is reset back correctly. Let's try this one more time. We got a good false set that time. Good click there. Go back over here and think we have everything now. Go back here up top, and we'll try to go grab that third one first. There's it. Number 2. Number 3 in. Thinking I've overset something. This thing has torpedoes in it. It's very easy to overset. Let's see if we got it that time. Go back through here and give these another set of taps. I think I overset my zero lift in the back here by accident when I was trying to get those top ones. This is a brown belt lock for a reason. I promise you, every time I do this on camera, I did this earlier for a giveaway video, it went just fine. I do this for a belt submission video, nothing. Kind of funny. I'm not really holding as much tension as it may seem. It doesn't really take a ton of tension on this lock, especially considering we do have a fair amount of counter rotation when you're setting some of these pins because they are torpedoes. So they do kind of have that spool element to them. That's where I think I've hit that back pin again. We'll see. And there we go. So we're going to move into the gutting phase of the operation here. I'm going to switch the camera angle a little bit so you can see this a little better. So I want to talk about the screws again in this. This uses JIS screws. Make sure you have a JIS screwdriver. I have the wrong bits because I was doing some Nintendo Switch repair for my kids. So this guy actually takes a JIS or J1 screwdriver bit. So we'll go ahead and pop these screws out, because essentially this is a key and knob cylinder pretending to be a deadbolt. By the way, they just make these. So we will go ahead and carefully take this out. You can see the cylinder here. So this comes with, well, a lot of them anyway. I don't know that everybody that sells them in the Lock Bazaar does it that way, with this pin inserted through the tailpiece. So luckily I had some roll pin punches. I just put the smallest one I had in there and gently drove that pin out. So now we can get the core out. So we're going to start by relocking this, and we will go over here to what is essentially the, I guess for me, my left side of the lock. You got to pull these little tabs up. Then I kind of take my thumb and put it over top of all of this so that these three springs do not launch. They are very tiny. I have almost lost them on multiple occasions. You can see, based on the way these are made, the springs often kind of fit down tightly inside of the top of the driver pins. They're kind of a gin style driver. They don't always stick, but sometimes they do kind of stick down in there. So I'm going to go ahead and dump the key pin out here. Grab my tweezers in case I need them to arrange things. We will go to chamber 2. We will dump out that driver. There's the third driver I dropped by accident, wasn't thinking. There's the number 2 key pin. And the number 3 key pin. Which is kind of our zero lift. We'll go up here to the center section. I'm going to do the same thing here. Kind of, these must be bent a little bit. Okay. Get back into these tweezers and push on that just a hair. Take this Bible cover off. As we gently do this so that I don't send springs flying every which way. Going to see, there we go. That's just how easily it takes very little pressure from my fingers to send these springs flying. We'll go up here to our first one here, dump our driver and our key pin out for number 4. Our driver and key pin for number 5. And our driver and key pin for number 6. We'll go over here to our last side and get our last 3. Once again, be very careful when doing this because these are very easy to lose, although a magnet can help you. There's my spring. So the center. That one in just a second. I've had to do this so many times, I'm sad to say my springs are getting a little bit worn out. I'm hoping this is the last time I have to do this. And these are not springs you can just go buy anywhere that I have found. I will say that number 7 here is more of a standard driver. It's the only standard driver. Everything else is gin. And there's our key pin out of number 9. So let's go ahead and take the cover off of the back of this. There's my key. I find it's easier to have the key inserted here when you do this so that the plug does not spin. This little clip, it's kind of tricky to remove. I've tried this with the Sparrow's gut hook and with this particular tool, and neither one worked any better than the other. Although I do think the tip on this one lets you kind of get in there a little bit better to push. There we go. Get that clip off. Let's go ahead and, oops, one thing that I just forgot to tell you about that almost cost me is there are ball bearings in this lock with springs. And here's the other one. Thank goodness. I've had to find these in the floor too. That's no bueno, no fun. Nothing special with the Bible, but let's get up here close. Go a little extra light here. We can see that there is some counter milling in each of these chambers all the way around. Here's where those ball bearings go. They kind of sit diagonal. It's easy to tell where they are on the Bible because there's a drill out for the detents to kind of fit on either side of the core, kind of on a 45 from one another, or on a 45 angle versus to either side, like on the goal P. So let's kind of zoom in on our pins a little bit. We can see, like I said, these itty bitty tiny screws. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, and 9 are all gin spools. And all but 9, 7, and 2 are also torpedo. Have those torpedo cuts in them. Makes them very easy to overset. We'll come back out a little bit and let's talk about how to know where your zero lifts are, or how it's safe to know. Let's see. Okay, well, we'll start out over here on the left. So your top row is always going to be your left. So any of these very deep cuts you see, they're almost always, I'm sorry, my auto zoom is killing me here. Okay, those are almost always zero lift. Here's our top pin stack. That number 3, or the first one here, it's not a zero lift, but it's almost a zero lift. And then on the back here, you can see that these are max lifts, and then this one here is a 0. So here we have it, the Goldie 9, fingers crossed. This is the last one that I do, and for this lock, and we can get submitted for Brown. Thanks everybody for watching. I'm sorry this is a little longer than usual, but Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah, whatever they may be. I hope you all have a blessed holiday and get some rest. First responders, thank you for taking up those roles. My wife worked in the medical field and worked call on many a holiday early in our marriage. It's tough being away from your families. Thank a first responder, our folks in the military, medical field, police. It's a thankless job sometimes. So, you know, thank you to all of you that have served or do serve. And we'll see you again on the next one.